Hello people! So this is going to be my review for Vampire Diaries episode 20, Don't Go Gentle. Now the episode starts off, Rebekah has given Klaus the fake steak that could kill an original, but it's a fake steak so it can, anyway, besides that, and Klaus tells Rebekah that he wants to leave tomorrow. He's going to grab Elena and go because he doesn't want to stay in Mystic Falls anymore. Of course, Rebekah doesn't like that idea, and so she tells him that they have to stay for the decade dance because she has something planned, planned for that night, and she is the head of the committee, and blah blah blah. So can you please stay? And of course, Klaus doesn't think much of it. He's like, sure, fine, I'll go. And it was so cute, doing something for his little sister, well, who he thinks is his little sister. Um, so, the next scene after that, Alaric Alaric, I don't know, I think did Alaric call Damon or Damon called Alaric? I think it was Alaric called Damon. Anyway, so he calls Damon and he tells, he apologizes that he hasn't been calling him lately. He has just been blacking out a lot lately, and Damon asks, well, did Rebekah get the steak? And he says, I don't know. I think she did. I woke up alone, and that's when he tells him that he's going to do some soul searching. Since he's been blacking out, he obviously doesn't want to be around people because he's a threat to everybody. And Damon doesn't think that's such a great idea. And Alaric says, don't worry, I have the herbs Bonnie made for me. I'll be fine. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. It tasted like pizza and the Coca-Cola and the gum that I just got done eating. Well, actually, sorry. It's the gum. I took it out for the video because I'm classy. Anyway, no, I'm not. I just burped. Okay, going off on a tangent. Where was I? Okay. So Alaric says, I have the herbs, I'll be fine, and he hangs up. And that's when we realize that Alaric is not in his apartment. He is in Klaus's mansion. Now, one question. I have many, many, many questions in this episode. This is just one of them. How was Alaric able to get inside Klaus's mansion without Klaus realizing that he's there? Like, can he, like, smell that there's a human inside the house or something? Like, or do they have that ability? Can they smell if you're a human or not? I think they do. I think all vampires have that ability, don't they? I don't know. Just a random question, like how was, I have a lot of questions about that. Anyway, so we find out that, and that's when we find out that the steak that Rebekah gave Klaus is fake, and she has the actual steak somewhere, and that's when she, what's it say? So she wants, basically, the first step in her plan is that she tells Alaric, evil Alaric, because it's not actual Alaric, I forgot to mention that, she's like, well, you have to stake Rebekah, Esther, you guys know last episode Esther took control of Rebekah's body, therefore, so you have to stake Rebekah there so that Esther can go back inside her body, which she does, which I was kind of disappointed in that because I kind of expected there to be like some, like at the dance, like there to be some epic revelation that it's not Rebekah, it's actually Esther inside of Rebekah's body. So I felt that that was kind of really pointless to have Esther possess Rebekah's body for literally like barely even 2-3 minutes out of the episode. Combining the last episode and the episode before this last episode, and you know what I mean? Combining them, that wasn't very long. I kind of expected something more out of that, but hey, what can you do? So, Rebekah is staked. Esther wakes up in her body, and then it cuts to the Mystic Falls Highs. They're decorating the gym for the dance and everything, and that's when we find out that Elena has told Caroline that she and Damon made out, which I was kind of a little bit like, really, you had to tell to here. I mean, I love Caroline so much, but seriously, why? You're gonna tell a person who hates Damon that you made out with him, you know what I mean? So, sorry. So Elena told Caroline this, and that's when Caroline, um, Elena thinks that Caroline, and Bonnie are going to the dance together, but that's when she finds out that Bonnie has asked Jamie to go to the dance. I'll get to that in a whole hot second because I have so much to say about that. And Caroline, I guess, is going alone. And Caroline's like, well, why don't you just take Stefan? And Elena doesn't want to because she just made out with his brother. It'll be awkward, and Caroline had to pull the bachelor cards. Like, it's his turn, you know. Stefan wants you to, find out what you want, and da 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 da. And so Elena calls Stefan, asks him to the dance, and he of course says yes. And my heart completely broke when Damon was standing right there and stuff. Oh my god, my heart broke. I was like, Damon, I'll go to the dance with you. I'm so sorry. Elena's a bitch. Blame Caroline. I will totally go to the dance with you. I feel so bad. I felt so, so, so bad for Damon. I was just like, oh, baby, don't you dare hurt my baby. And then meanwhile, Esther takes Alaric to the site where Klaus ripped her heart from her chest over 100 million bazillion years ago. Probably not. That's not the exact number, so don't hold me to that. Just a very long time ago. Thus, the tragedy of her death, or the violence of her death, marked this ground for all time, and the ground, oddly or coincidentally enough, or just because this is how the show wrote, this is how the writers work. The site of Esther's death is on the Salvatore tombstone plotline in the graveyard grave cemetery. That's the word I was looking for. Cemetery, which is weird. And there are like people on Tumblr like debating, is it Zachariah's tomb or is it oh god, what's his face? Really, Emily, you forgot. I forgot his name. Giuseppe. Is it Giuseppe's grave or is it Zachariah's? I don't know. I think it's just a combination because it's like a big freaking tomb thing. So I think there's like more than just one person in there, dead person in there. So they go into the tomb, and Esther tells Alaric that the only way that you will be able to kill all the originals with this one stake is if I make it what's it called? Indestructible. So she takes his ring, and she's supposed to take the power or the spell that marks his ring and put it in this little bowl, and it's supposed to make the stake indestructible, because as we know, if you stake an original, the stake and the original will burn up into flames. Thus, you cannot kill all the originals. And I kind of am questioning that. Like, okay, so this ring, you take this ring and then you melt it, because they melt. I think she melted it basically, and the liquid from the ring is supposed to make the stake indestructible. That makes sense. TVD writers, I think I think they're running out of ideas. I'm sorry. That was kind of like a really weird thing to say. I don't know, but I don't know. It just kind of sounded kind of a little bit BS to me. I'm sorry. I felt that's my feelings. So she does that. The stake is now indestructible, and then now on to the next part of her plan. So, after the commercial break, it comes back. Elena is now dressed up in her little flapper garb, and can I just say, she looked absolutely adorable. I think this is like my favorite. I love, like you guys know, I love the flashback to the 1920s episode 3. Love that. Deadly. I think it was, no, it wasn't Deadly Liaisons. It was I forgot what it was called. I forgot what it was called. But I love that episode. Fast back to the 1920s. I love the 1920s era in general. So to see Elena dressed up, or just needed a Rev dressed up as like a little flapper, I thought it was just the cutest thing ever. And she was super fucking adorable. And I loved it. She was my it. And a lot of people are saying that it looks almost exactly like Rebekah's dress from the flashback episode in episode 3. And I kind of do have to agree. It does kind of look a little bit similar, but I think I like Rebekah's dress a little bit more because it looked a little bit more, I don't know. I think, well, with Elena's, I think it had to look like a flapper dress, but at the same time, it kind of looked a little bit more costumey. The one with Rebekah's didn't, if that makes sense. Anyway, so Elena and Stefan go to the dance, and it's all, everyone's dancing and, having a good time and stuff like that. And then, Caroline and Matt are talking, and then all of a sudden, boom, Tyler shows up. It's just like, what the heck? I had the same reaction that Matt did. I was like, Matt's like, what is he doing here? And I'm like, exactly, what the hell is he doing here? Not that, one, you're ruining my Caroline flow, and two, Caroline flow, that makes sense. And two, you're a freaking idiot. Why are you showing up here? You're gonna get yourself killed, or worse. Well, what's worse than being killed? I don't know. Just idiot. Stupid fucking idiot. And apparently Caroline has the same attitude that I did. What are you doing here? And frankly, I'm just annoyed with the whole forward thing now. Tyler's not even, he's just jealous. He's just a jealous boyfriend. That's it. And I hate when guy. Well, it depends. It depends. Like, it's cute when it is cute sometimes when a guy gets jealous, but it gets kind of annoying when they're trying to prove that they're the better choice, you know what I mean? I hate it when guys do that. So, yeah, I hate that. So, there's that. The Stelena dance, I don't know, it just felt so awkward, and it just felt like, it was like stiff, honestly, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Delana shipper. It honestly felt stiff, like, I don't know, it's like the writers are forcing them to, I'm sorry, I tried to see if there's anything, and I don't think there is. I mean, I do 100% believe Elena does still care for Stefan and vice versa, but I don't think they could ever be what they were before what happened to Stefan when he was with Klaus. I don't think that will ever be, the same again. I don't think they'll ever be like their cute little selves back from season, in season 1 or 2 even. But, like, I'm sorry, it was awkward. It was super fucking awkward. Anyway, so Damon shows up the dance and tells them that Alaric hasn't been taking his herbs, and that they need to do something. And Elena thinks, well, we need to find some other potion. We need a medical or something like that. And Damon's like, we've tried everything. We've tried, like, and honestly, the only thing Damon thinks that could possibly work is to just kill him, put him out of his misery. Of course, I was like, what? Damon, he's your best friend. Why would you do that? But at the same time, like, a lot of people were just like, I can't believe Damon just jumped to that conclusion. I couldn't believe that either. But at the same time, if that's, like, they've tried everything. They've tried everything to get Alaric back to what he was before. And if that's the only choice, then I'd rather him die and be put out of his misery and not be the evil Alaric that is just, it breaks my heart, than have him live with this. Like the worry of blacking out and then ending up killing someone randomly and then, forgetting about it and not even knowing you did it afterwards. That would kill me a lot more than anything else. And yeah. So Jeremy overhears this, and he's not very happy about that either. And Elena profusely promises him, like, don't worry, I will not let anything happen to Alaric. And that's when Esther shows up to the dance. And she says, Elena, you have to come with me. If you want to help your friend Alaric, you better come with me. It's just like, oh, crap, okay. And And I'm just like, Elena, don't do it. But of course she does. She tells, and as Esther is talking, she tells Jeremy to go get Damon and Stefan, and to which point Elena follows her instead of waiting for Damon and Stefan to show up. They all go to follow her, and that's when they realize, holy shit, Damon and Stefan have been blocked. And they look down, and there's this trail of fucking salt. Like, honestly, wrapping, I don't even know, like, how long this fucking thing is. Is it wrapped? I think it's supposed to look like it's wrapped around the whole high school, I think. But, this is another thing. Only in Mystic Falls will the humans not, be concerned over a trail of fucking salt wrapping around their school. It's just like, oh, it's just a trail of salt. Like, no big deal. The whole time I was like, they showed the salt, like that line of fucking salt. I just wanted to kick it. Honestly, like, couldn't Jeremy, like, kick it aside or something? I mean, he's a human. It doesn't affect him or Matt. So couldn't they just, like, kick it? Like, I would kick it. Like, I mean, like, couldn't they kick it? I'm sorry, but oh my god, like none of the humans like were like, why is there a trail of salt wrapped around the yeah. So yeah, that was kind of weird to me, but it was funny because I was just like, why really a trail of salt? Awesome. I just spent a few minutes talking about a fucking trail of salt. Awesome. But yeah, like weren't you guys thinking that? Please tell me I wasn't the only one thinking like, couldn't they just kick it away? Ask Jeremy to kick it away, because I'm pretty sure it would work. So that's when they realize, uh-oh, Esther's up to something, and sorry. So Esther is taking Elena to the Salvatore tomb, and that's when Elena realizes that Alaric is not Alaric, he is evil Alaric, and Esther reveals that every time Alaric died, she was there when he took when he was dead in that limbo where he was just not there. He was, took that trip into death, and then he came right back. During that time, Esther was right there with him, egging him on and telling him, like, basically feeding him the seed, I think, or just telling him, like, all the bad things that every vampire has done to him, and that he needs to get revenge and he needs to kill them, because that's the only way he will ever be, like, not reprimanded, but just, you need to, help me with this. So basically, it's all Esther's fault. That is why, Alaric turned evil, basically, because Esther was right there telling him, you need to do this, because all vampires are evil. The reason your life is the way it is because vampires made it that way, which is completely and totally mean and evil, and made me hate Esther even, like, 100 bazillion times more. And then her plan, compiled with that, is to change Alaric into an original, like she did all those years ago with her children, and basically he's gonna kill all her children, and then at the time after that is over, he's gonna die in some way, shape, or form. I don't even know how that'll work. Like, is he just gonna spontaneously combust, or is she gonna come back from the dead again and, like, stake his ass? I don't even know. But apparently that's what's gonna happen, and Elena doesn't want anything to do with it, obviously, as I would too. And she's like, no, you're gonna have to kill me in order to for me to help you. Of course, Esther is just like, fine, I have my own way. So she basically magically makes a freaking scratch or like a thing appear on her hand. She takes the blood and she pours it into the thing, and Alaric drinks it, and then Esther stakes him in order to complete the transition into a vampire, to complete the first part of the transition to become a vampire. And, okay, the Caroline dance. I thought it was the cutest thing ever, honestly, in my opinion. The one thing that really just broke my heart is the fact that Klaus said that he would wait for Caroline forever, like a century. He knows that Tyler and this small town will not be enough for her, and he's just basically saying that I love you, or not. Like, I think he just likes her. I don't think he loves her. I think he just is he fancies her. I can't say it in his cool accent because he has a cool accent and I don't. But he, come on, like my heart literally melted. Like it seriously melted. He's like, I will wait for you. Maybe a year, 10 years, or a century. You will come one day. You'll come knocking at my door and stuff like that. And I'm like, Caroline shippers, we don't sleep. We wait. We wait. Just give me one kiss. Just one. Just one. That's all I'm asking for. Don't let my ship sink. Okay. So during that, so Bonnie is trying to figure out one, where Elena is and how to release the binding or the barrier line curse thing in order to get them out of the gym. Well, the vampires out of the gym. And yeah, there's that. And she's not working. Okay, I'm gonna try and quickly talk about the Bonnie and Jeremy, not Bonnie, Jeremy, Bonnie and Jamie little thing. That is I think that is like one of the most forced ships, or not even ships, if you can call it a ship. That's one of the most forced couples I've ever seen on this entire show. Like, honestly, it was awkward. That kiss. Okay, first she kisses him, and it's like, okay, fine, that you should have left it at that. And then she went in for like a full-on makeout, and it was the most awkward thing ever. It's like, I mean, like, you could tell that he was not that into it, or he wasn't even trying to look like he was into it, first of all. And it was just awkward, and I just felt the awkwardness, and it was just weird. And honestly, I was so freaking glad that Damon came in and cockblocked them, because thank you, Damon, thank you. It was so annoying. It was so freaking annoying. It's like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? You know? Just, so I do not well, obviously, as you guys know, I do not like Bonnie, therefore, I do not care who she ends up with. To be perfectly honest for you, to be perfectly honest, I wish she would either die, I'm not ashamed to say that, or she would just leave and never come back, which kind of means die, but if she had to live, I wish she would just leave town and never come back, because I could frankly do without her. I'm sorry if you feel differently, but that is my feelings. I do not like Bonnie, and if you don't like me now because I don't like Bonnie, I am sorry, because she sucks. Okay. So, besides that, so Tyler and Caroline get into a fight, and this is another question. The amount of times they talked about how Tyler is no longer sired to Klaus. Well, I don't think they talked about it a lot, but they did talk about it a good amount. And during this one time when they were talking about it, Klaus was in the gym, I'm assuming, okay? He was in that area while they were talking about the fact that Tyler was no longer sired. Couldn't he have heard them talking about it and been like, what the hell? Like, hello, superhuman hearing? He was in the same area. I'm like surprised, like seriously, continuity. Like, I have a feeling Klaus knows that Tyler is no longer sired, because I think that the clue, when Tyler said that I just got back in town, and Klaus says, well, I don't remember asking you to leave town. I think that should have been like the clue to Klaus, like, hey, he left town and you didn't tell him to, because you have to tell him to do things and he will do them, and he did something on his own free will. And I think that would have been like a little light bulb coming off in his head, like, hey, I probably need to pay attention to this guy, because apparently he just did something without me telling him to do it. You know what I mean? But I was just like, how is Klaus not hearing this conversation and stuff? And just okay. And the fact that and the whole Tyler talking about, like, well, maybe Klaus, I don't know, he was just being a little bit of a douchebag, and a little bit of it, not a little bit, he was being a douchebag, and he's like, well, if Klaus were to die, then I would die, and then everything will be solved, unless you were descended from his bloodline and shit like that. And I was just like, you're being such a douche. So basically, you're just like, why don't I just die? Everyone's problems will be solved. You're being very like Jeremy, first season. No, Beginning of second season? Yes, beginning. Well, first season as well, a little. No. Second season. I don't know. You're being emo Jeremy, basically. So, Jeremy and Matt decide, you know what, we're going to do things on our, we're just going to go, because Stefan and Damon, and they did say, hey, go find Elena. They're at the cemetery, and because Bonnie finds out they're at the cemetery, because Klaus realizes that the power that she's using, that Esther is gaining, is from a spot that has been marked and all that jazzy stuff. So Jeremy and Matt go to save Elena from the cemetery, Esther thing, and they try to. They are stopped by Esther, and Esther was about to is basically positions them to make, and they're about to shoot each other basically, and then Alaric just wakes up and stabs Esther repeatedly with a stake. I think it's isn't it the white oak? Sorry, I'm burping. Or I'm like, I have the hiccups. Please don't tell me I have the hiccups, because I do not feel like having the hiccups right now. So Alaric wakes up, stakes her, and we realize that he is not evil. He's not evil Alaric. He is regular old Alaric, and he has no idea what is going on. And as Elena explains it to him, and that's when he decides that he is not going to through with the transition to become a vampire, because he knows that if he becomes a vampire, his evil side was so terrible in his when he was a human. Who knows what could possibly occur if if he were to become a vampire? And of course, I'm completely against him dying, and as is everyone else. And I just was so sad. And the little vigil that everyone standing outside the tomb honestly broke my heart, and I was crying so much. And I was like, no. And so they lock him in the Salvatore tomb. And can I just say, like, this has been like these last few episodes, like after the hiatus, it's been where can we lock Alaric up in next? Like, first it was a jail cell, then it was his apartment, then it was the Gilbert house, and then it was the Salvatore dungeon cellar thing, and now it's the Salvatore tomb. Like, what's it gonna be next, or something like that? Like, seriously, like, I'm so scared. I don't want him to die. I was so sad. And oh my god, the Alaric thing. Oh my god, like, that scene just made me cry so much. I was like, Alaric. It made me miss Alaric. I loved Damon and Alaric's little bromance there. That's like seriously, Clefin has nothing, absolutely nothing against Alaric. I love Damon and Alaric, and I don't want. So sad. I was crying so much, and I wanted to give Damon a hug, and I'm like, I want to be your friend. I love you. I mean, seriously, Alaric is Damon's only friend, and now he's gone, and the one thing I have to question is when Elena's like, me and Jeremy don't have anyone to look out for us anymore. It's like, shut up. You're 18 years old. I'm pretty sure you can take care of yourself. Okay, when I was 18, I knew how to take care of myself. I'm 19 now, so I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I know how to use, money and buy food and all that jazzy stuff. I may not know how to drive yet, but I'm working on that. That you guys don't care. But by the time I think you're at least 14, 13 years old, you should be able to know how to cook and clean for yourself and do certain things for yourself. So I'm pretty sure 18, she has nothing to worry about. I can understand her being concerned for Jeremy because he's not, old enough. I mean, he's old enough to take care of himself, but he still needs a guardian because he's not 18, I'm assuming. I don't know how old he's supposed to be, but I can understand that. But Elena, calm your shit. You can get a job, and you can probably get your own apartment now because you're 18 years old. But you're basically an adult, so calm your shit. So Klaus takes Esther, puts her in the little casket thing where she belongs, and he tells her that, what does he say? tells her that his survival will haunt her forever and da 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 da, and he will never be destroyed, and he will always find a way to live because he deserves to live and all that jazz stuff. And oh my god, when Jeremy was crying, I seriously started crying more. I was already crying to begin with, and then to see Jeremy cry. Usually Damon is the one to cry, to make me cry, and I was like, I can't do it, but Jeremy is just like, stop it, and there's that, and I was just so sad. I was so sad. And during that time, Bonnie, while she's laying in bed with Jamie. Why does he have to have a J name? I'm gonna mix those guys up. Um, she's laying in bed with Jamie, which I thought was really odd because they're that God moving fast much. Okay, and she is visited by Esther's ghost or spirit or whatever in one of her dreams, and Esther says your sisters need you, i.e. the other dead witches, the other dead witch bitches. They need you to finish what I started, and I think this is one of the reasons why I hate the witches. I honestly don't think the witches like Esther, so I think she's just using. Obviously, I think she's just using Bonnie just to say that. She's obviously using Bonnie because I don't think the witches would agree with Esther's little plan. I don't think. But anyway, Bonnie, I think she's possessed by Esther, and she goes to the tomb, and Damon's walking out of it, and she does that little aneurysm fucking thing and drops Damon to the ground, and she gives her blood to Alaric, and thus he becomes evil Alaric vampire thing. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. And like, I was like, you should have seen me watching. I swear, like, there should be a video camera of me watching The Vampire Diaries because it's kind of freaky, but it's probably the most entertaining thing ever because my dad has told me after I'm done watching the show, and even as I'm watching the show, that one, I need to calm down. Two, why am I screaming? And three, he comes in I come into my room afterwards because I watch this in my living room, and he's like laughing his butt off in his room, and he's like Emily, you are like, he's like, I don't know, he tells me, I don't know what you were yelling about, but it was funny. And I'm like, okay, great. So yeah. But I was thinking, like, okay, Alaric's gonna die, everything's gonna be easy, okay, got it. Nope, of course not. It's Vampire Diaries. Things cannot be, like, end in wrap it up into a little bow and just send it off. No, it cannot be end that way. It has to be more complicated, and of course Alaric has to become a vampire. So, please look down in the boxer drawer below for comment questions, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this long ass review. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. And oh my god, 2 more episodes. Oh my god, there's 2 more episodes before the season finale. I don't know if I can take it. I don't know if I can take it. I don't want the season to end, and I don't want to. Okay, so I'll see you guys next time. Be sure to check out the boxer drawer. Bye bye.